She said she was helping a friend move every weekend. One day I offered to help. She froze. I followed her instead and watched her walk into a hotel. That night, I texted her a photo of a U-Haul and wrote, "You're the one moving now. I'm a 38-year-old guy from Lexington, Kentucky. I work in HVAC. Been in the trade for over 15 years. I don't make a ton of money, but I make enough. I've always believed in showing up, being honest, and taking care of my own. I thought I married someone who believed in the same. Rachel and I had been together since high school. I proposed to her at Lake Cumberland after our 5th anniversary. Married 2 years later. We bought a modest home on the east side of town, near Richmond Road. We were just normal. Grocery runs, TV nights, shared bank account, talks about starting a family. That kind of life. But things started changing last year. It was small at first. Rachel got quiet sometimes, looked distant when I talked. Said she was just tired. I figured it was stress. Her job in real estate could be brutal, late nights, flaky clients, pressure to close. I tried to be supportive. I picked up more chores. Made dinner more often. Didn't push her when she wanted alone time. Then the weekends started disappearing. She told me her friend Trisha was downsizing. Said she was moving into a smaller house and needed help clearing out her old place. First it was one Saturday a month. Then 2. Then every damn weekend. "I'll be at Trisha's again," she'd say, grabbing her purse like she was late for something. "She's got another storage unit we didn't get to." I believed her at first. Why wouldn't I? Trisha was real. I'd met her once or twice. But something started to feel wrong. Rachel never asked me to come. Not once. And it's not like I'm useless. I lift heavy things for a living. I've moved whole HVAC units into tight crawlspaces. But when I'd joke about lending a hand, she'd wave it off. "Trisha's got her brother and a couple friends. It's fine," she'd say. "She doesn't want too many people crowding the place." Okay. That made sense the first time. Maybe even the second. But after the 4th weekend? Nah. And she never came home looking like she'd been moving. No sweat. No sore muscles. Makeup still fresh. Hair still neat. That part bugged me. I know what people look like after hauling boxes and cleaning garages. She looked like she was coming back from Sunday brunch. That's when I started watching. The next time she left, I looked at the mileage on her SUV before she pulled out. She said Trisha's new house was over in Beaumont, which should have been a short drive. But when she came back, she'd put over 40 miles on the car. She lied. Plain and simple. And once I saw that, I couldn't unsee everything else. So I made a plan. The next weekend, I told her I might have a Saturday off. I wanted to help her out, maybe finally meet Trisha again. Her face went blank for a second. Her hand stopped halfway to her coffee mug. She forced a smile. "Oh, Trisha's kinda stressed about people being around. She's super picky about her stuff getting moved. She just wants a few people she knows, you know?" I nodded. Sure. That makes sense. It didn't. But I smiled like it did. Saturday morning, she got ready like usual. Dressed down in leggings and a t-shirt. I let her leave. Waited 10 minutes. Then I followed her. She didn't go to Beaumont. She went the opposite direction. I kept my distance, stayed 2 cars back. She drove out past Winchester Road, toward the outskirts of town. Then she pulled into a parking lot behind a Best Western. I parked behind a delivery truck and watched her through my rearview mirror. She got out. Checked her phone. looked around. Then walked right into the lobby like she'd done it 100 times. About 10 minutes later, a guy came out. He looked familiar, but I couldn't place him. Bald, goatee, built like a former high school linebacker who still drank too much. He smiled when he saw her. Walked up. Kissed her full on the mouth. They disappeared into the elevator together. I sat there for an hour. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I just stared at that building and felt the kind of rage that makes your teeth hurt. I drove home. Didn't say anything when she got back that night. She acted normal. Asked if I wanted Thai food. Laughed at some dumb show on Netflix. Then went to bed next to me like everything was fine. She had no idea. I woke up before her the next morning. Went online. Reserved a U-Haul for 9 a.m. Picked it up, parked it right in our driveway. When I got back inside, I made coffee. Fried some eggs. She was still asleep. I went outside, took a picture of the U-Haul from the driveway, and sent her the photo with the message, "You're the one moving now." She didn't reply. I heard her footsteps flying down the stairs 30 seconds later. She came downstairs in a rush, still wearing her sleep shirt. Phone in hand. Face pale like she saw a ghost. "What the hell is this?" she asked, waving her phone at me. "You're kicking me out?" I didn't answer right away. I kept sipping my coffee. Let her stand there in the silence. "You wanna explain what the hell you were doing at the Best Western yesterday?" I finally asked. She froze. Just stood there. I leaned back in the chair. "Go on. Let's hear the part where this isn't what it looks like." Her lip trembled. "I can explain, then do it." It wasn't supposed to be a thing. It started a few months ago. I was just feeling alone, and he was someone I used to know. It just happened. I didn't mean, "Who is he?" I cut in. She looked down. "His name's Craig." That name hit me like a steel pipe. Craig Harper. That bald asshole? I knew him from high school. He used to hang around the same people we did. Total burnout. Last I heard, he was divorced, living with his mom outside town. "You're sleeping with Craig Harper?" I asked, stunned. "Jesus, Rachel." She started crying. I didn't mean for it to go this far. I thought I could stop. I swear I was going to end it, yeah. I snapped. "That before or after you let him take you to a hotel like a damn groupie?" She covered her face with her hands and sobbed. I stood up. "You're not gonna cry your way out of this. You cheated. You lied. Over and over. And you used me. I gave you everything I had. I didn't deserve this." She shook her head. "I was unhappy. You don't even see how distant you've been. You work, you come home, and that's it." I felt invisible. I stared at her. "So you cheat instead of talking to me?" She looked up, eyes red. "You would have ignored it. You always shut down when things get hard." I wanted to scream. I wanted to throw something. But instead, I walked to the front door and held it open. "You've got until noon. Pack your things." Her face twisted. "Where the hell am I supposed to go?" "Not my problem," I said. "Maybe Craig can make space in that hotel room." She stared at me like she was waiting for me to break. But I didn't. I closed the door and went back to my coffee. An hour later, I heard her dragging suitcases down the hall. But it didn't end there. Not even close. Later that week, I found out Craig wasn't just any old friend. He'd been messaging Rachel before she ever said she was helping Trisha move. I dug through our shared laptop, pulled up old emails, found her hidden accounts. She'd been seeing him for over 8 months. And worse? They were laughing about me in their messages. Making fun of how clueless I was. Talking about how long they could keep this going. That changed everything. This wasn't a mistake. It was a game to them. And I don't lose games. I thought kicking her out would be the end of it. But that was just the beginning. 3 days after Rachel left, I got a call from my bank. "Hey Mr. Walker," the guy said, "we're just following up on the wire transfer you authorized this morning, $7,800 to a private account." I felt my stomach drop. "What transfer?" He paused. "It was logged in from your online banking profile." I hung up. Logged into my account immediately. Gone. $7,800. Nearly all of my emergency savings. I called Rachel. No answer. I texted her, "You stole from me?" Still nothing. A few hours later, I drove to her sister's place where she sometimes stayed when things got rocky between us. Her sister opened the door, clearly surprised. "She's not here," she said. "I need to find her. She just drained my account." Her sister's eyes widened. "Wait, what?" So I told her. And she was just as shocked as I was. She let me in, and we went through Rachel's recent social media posts. Rachel had gone quiet, nothing new since the day she left. But then her sister said something that stopped me cold. "You know Craig has a kid, right?" I blinked. "What?" "Yeah," she said, scrolling through Facebook. "Little girl. Think she's around 4 now. Her name's Maddie. Lives with her mom in Mount Sterling." Rachel never mentioned that. That night, I drove out to Mount Sterling. I didn't have a plan. I just needed to see for myself. I waited outside Craig's mom's house. Around 8 p.m., I saw Rachel's SUV pull into the driveway. Craig came out to greet her. She handed him a backpack, kissed him, and went inside. He stayed out with a little girl holding his hand. I watched for a long time. Long enough to see what I needed. Rachel hadn't just cheated on me. She moved in with the guy. And apparently, she was helping him take care of his kid. That wasn't heartbreak anymore. That was war. The next day, I went back through the emails and texts I'd saved. I took screenshots. Compiled a folder. Emails showing her using my money to book rooms, buy gas, even send Craig money through a PayPal account I didn't know she had access to. She had set it up under my name when we were still married. It was fraud, clear as day. I gave it all to a lawyer. And then I went further. Rachel's real estate license had to be renewed annually. Turns out she had used my address and information for one of her last applications, faking some documents to speed up a background check. Probably because she didn't want something else getting flagged. So I reported her. I sent everything I had to the Kentucky Real Estate Commission. That wasn't even the worst part. The final twist? Craig was married. Still legally married. I didn't know that until I looked up a court record his name was on. A pending divorce case filed over a year ago but still active. Rachel wasn't the only one lying in that house. And that gave me another idea. Once I found out Craig was still married, something shifted in me. This wasn't just about cheating anymore. This was about lies stacked on lies. Rachel didn't just break her vows, she ran off to play stepmom for a man who couldn't even finish his divorce. And she had no clue I was building a case that could crush her. I tracked down Craig's wife. Her name was Denise. Found her through a property record tied to his name. She was still living in their house out in Owingsville, about 30 minutes away. It took some nerve, but I showed up one afternoon. I didn't lie or sugarcoat anything. I told her everything. Her face didn't flinch at first. Then she started shaking. Not out of surprise, out of rage. They said they were done, she said. He told me he was just staying with his mom for a bit until we figured out the paperwork. That was 6 months ago. I handed her a flash drive. Everything's on there. Emails, photos, screenshots of bank transactions. Whatever you decide to do with it, it's yours. She nodded slowly, then said something I won't forget: I hope they destroy each other. We shook hands. She thanked me. And I left. After that, I kept quiet. Let the storm build. A week later, Rachel tried calling me. First time since she walked out. I let it ring. Then she texted, "We need to talk. Please." I messed up. I didn't respond. The next morning, my lawyer called. Craig's lawyer reached out, he said. Apparently, he's being investigated for fraud and spousal neglect. And Rachel's caught in the crossfire. Turns out, Denise had filed an emergency motion in court, claiming Craig had been siphoning joint funds into a secret account, with Rachel's help. And since Rachel was using an account in my name to move money around, it was a mess. Investigators were looking into both of them now. The house of cards was crumbling. And Rachel? She was finally feeling the heat. She came to my job. Just showed up at the site I was working. She looked like hell, thin, dark circles under her eyes, makeup smudged. "Please," she said, standing by my truck. "Can we just talk?" My coworker gave me a look and walked off. I leaned against the bed of the truck and crossed my arms. "You got 2 minutes." She took a deep breath. "I made a mistake," she said. "Craig's not who I thought he was. He's been using me. I found out he's been lying to me too. I have nowhere else to go." I stared at her. "You stole from me. Lied to my face for almost a year. Laughed behind my back with that piece of trash. And now you want sympathy because he did the same thing to you?" Her eyes filled with tears. "I just want to come home." I stepped closer. "This was your home. You set it on fire. And now you're choking on the smoke." She flinched. "So that's it? You're just gonna throw me away?" I nodded once. "Same way you did to me." She walked off, crying, and got back in her SUV. I watched her go, then pulled out my phone. I had one more call to make, this time to Rachel's boss at the agency where she worked. I wasn't finished yet. I knew calling her boss was a low blow. But after everything Rachel did, I didn't care about being the bigger person anymore. I sent him an email with everything, screenshots of her using company time and company email to meet Craig. Evidence she had been stealing from our account. Proof she faked some paperwork tied to her real estate license. 2 days later, Rachel was fired. Her boss didn't even give her a warning. Just called her into the office, showed her the evidence, and told her to leave immediately. She lost her license too. When the Real Estate Commission reviewed my report and saw the forged paperwork, they revoked it. Rachel was out of a job. Out of money. No license to work in real estate again, at least not in Kentucky. Craig's problems got worse too. Denise hit him with a lawsuit, and the fraud investigation pulled Rachel deeper into the mess. She got called in for questioning. Her name showed up in the papers alongside his. Local realtor under investigation for fraud tied to divorce case. Her new life? Burned to the ground. The last time I saw Rachel was 3 months later. I was at Kroger, picking up some groceries. She was standing near the back of the store by the dairy section, looking at a discount rack of expired yogurt. Hair greasy. Clothes wrinkled. She didn't see me at first. When she finally looked up, she froze. I didn't wave. Didn't nod. Just stared for a second. Then walked past her like she was a stranger. I got what I wanted. She lost everything she threw away her life for. But here's the truth most people don't tell you: I wasn't clean in this story either. I should have spoken up earlier when things felt wrong. I saw the red flags and I stayed silent, trying to be the good guy. I let my own pride stop me from asking hard questions, from having hard conversations. I let myself believe that if I just worked harder, things would fix themselves. They didn't. Maybe if I had fought for us earlier, not let resentment grow in the cracks, none of this would have happened. Maybe not. Maybe Rachel would have cheated anyway. I'll never know. All I know is that I didn't fight until it was too late. And even though getting revenge felt good at the time, it didn't fix the hole she left behind. Revenge gave me closure. It didn't give me peace. That's something I'm still working on.